Hi, my name is Cole Kelly, and I come to you today to ask you to join the Memory Blanket Challenge. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is grab your iPad, your cell phone, or your PC and list your favorite memory of your life so far. Click on the link that I've provided for your donation that goes directly to the Alzheimer's Association. Then challenge 3 people in your life to do the same thing within a 24-hour time period. If any of those people that you challenge opt out of doing the video portion, they can simply do a private challenge to other people and click on the link to do the donation. That's how we keep it going. With 35 million people worldwide and those numbers increasing of people suffering from Alzheimer's disease, we need to do something to raise awareness and stop this horrible disease. With the release of Still Alice and Glenn Campbell's song helping raise the awareness of Alzheimer's disease, we need to capitalize and do something while the momentum is strong. That's why I came up with the Memory Blanket Challenge. You know, ALS was a physical challenge. Alzheimer's disease is a battle of the mind. It robs you of things that you can't even imagine. It takes things that are precious and dear, such as remembering your child's name, your wedding day, or saying I love you. I ask that you share your memories and we weave them together and raise the funds to find a cure for this horrible disease. Little did I know when I took a position with the pharmaceutical company selling Aricept, the first-line drug in the treatment of Alzheimer's disease, how this would personally impact my life. My husband's grandmother was diagnosed with later-onset Alzheimer's disease. Subsequently, my mother-in-law was diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's. We found out last week, in order to have my husband tested for the early-onset gene, we run the risk of being labeled of having a pre-existing condition if he tests positive for the gene. We really wanted to do this in order to prepare, because if he does carry the gene, he runs a greater than 50% risk of coming down with early onset Alzheimer's and then passing that on to our 3 children, ages 9, 6, and 1. He's 44. His mother was 60 when she was diagnosed. As you can see, as a wife, as a mother, I want to do something. I can't idly sit by and wait for this to happen. It's unfortunate that in this day and age, in order to protect your family and want to know the answer, if this is coming your way, that you're punished. So I'm doing what I can and coming up with this challenge to raise awareness, stop the shame that comes with this disease, and help raise the funds necessary for research and development of a treatment and a cure for this disease. It will help not only my family, it may help yours. Maybe you're the one sitting on the other side of this video that is impacted. Or maybe it's your neighbor, maybe it's your friend, maybe it could be you down the road. However, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But I ask that you each join in and help, because you never know. You never know. So, I am going to list my favorite memory. And I'm going to post it to YouTube, and then I'm going to post it to Facebook, which I have a Facebook page called the Memory Blanket Challenge, in which case I encourage all of you to post your videos there. You can find information there, and keep it going. Let's raise awareness and find a cure. So without further ado, my favorite memory of my life so far is of my wedding day. January 3rd, 2004 was a beautiful day. It was 70 degrees in St. Louis, and I felt like a princess in my beautiful Vera Wang wedding dress. I remember my dad, with his quivering lower lip, quite emotional, getting ready to walk me down the aisle. He was biting his lower lip to prevent crying. His oldest daughter getting married. Quite a big deal. And he was starting to walk so fast I had to grab his arm and say, slow down, because it was a very long aisle at the shrine of St. Joseph. And I remember my husband kind of swaying and rocking, and I had to kind of grab his arm too when I got down to the other end. I just remember the church being beautiful and everything was gorgeous. It went off without a hitch. The one thing my husband had requested that day, the only thing, was that we had an antique Rolls Royce to get us from the church to the reception, and I had to make sure that happened. It was gorgeous. I did question whether or not it would make it because it was so old, but it was beautiful nonetheless. My dad, of course, gave his winded speech, but of course it was eloquent and spoken from the heart as usual. And I remember dancing with him to our song, Unforgettable by Nat King Cole. And then dancing with my father-in-law to the Louis Armstrong song that he loves, Wonderful World. And I remember my mother-in-law saying how beautiful everything looked, and it was, she called it a winter wonderland because everything was adorned in white. White roses and white linens and white seat covers, and everything was white. And nothing went wrong. It was beautiful. And still, 11 years later, people come up to us and say what a wonderful time they had. And it makes times like this that are difficult with my husband's mother and things that may not be perfect. It makes us reminisce and remember that day. It makes you get through it a little bit easier. So that's my memory. And so now I go on to challenge Stephanie Rolfs Young of the Alzheimer's Association. I challenge my sister, who I love dearly, Katie McGrory. And I challenge every caregiver and every person on the Facebook page, the Alzheimer's and Dementia Caregiver. I challenge all of you. The only way we're going to make this happen is through awareness, spreading the word, getting it out there. Let's make this happen and find a cure. Thank you so much, and God bless.